I've always wanted to go to college. I don't want to go because I want to be the first one in my family to go. That's not the reason for me going. I want to go because I want to go.
Going to college is important to me because none of my family members have been to college, and I'm trying to be the first one to be more educated.
I'll be the first one to go to college in my family, so, it's gonna make me feel good, like I'm number one.
I want to go to college to become something in life, to prove to my parents and everybody that I can do it.
I get up at 5:30 every morning, 5:30, press that snooze button, so like 5:40, and get up and start my day. Walk out the house at 6:20. I live in Inglewood with my mom, and I go to L.A. Jordan High School in Watts, California. So I take 3 buses and 2 trains to get to school every day.
Dante was a talented 2-sport athlete who commuted an hour and a half to compete on Jordan High School's highly ranked football and track teams. But for him, the dream of going to college was relatively new.
First day of 10th grade, I got locked up for possession of a firearm. Did 5 months in camp. It really got to me. I really seen, if I don't turn my life around, I could be in here for years. I did so good in camp, they let me out 10 days before Christmas. From there, I just turned my life around. Started going to church, going to school. Next thing you know, I'm back on track, doing better than ever. Well, I've been going to Jordan since I was in the middle of 10th grade. It's in a not so good neighborhood, but I stay to myself, have my headphones on, go to school to learn.
Bye, Mom. Love you too.
200 miles north of Dante, Jess lived in the rural mountain town of Lake Isabella.
Have a seat, guys. Find your seats. Okay, so let's start. I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation.
A lot of people don't appreciate our school because it's so small. We don't have a lot of new things, but we have our farm and we have a good sports program. They don't think that there's a lot to be involved in, but there really is if you just want to do it. I'm vice president for the junior class, and I'm running again for senior class.
Same as mine.
Ethan and I have been together for, it'll be a year and 1 month this month, actually. And I'm really happy with him. I've never been with anybody this long. We are pretty much always together, and we don't get sick of each other. I do stats for varsity football and varsity softball. I like it a lot. It makes me follow the game and it's fun. And since I'm not coordinated, I'd say, and I can't really play sports, I just like to be a part of it somehow, part of the team.
Working and being involved with student council and getting the grades she does, that's really hard to do. But she handles it really good, and her grades show it.
45 minutes down the canyon road from Lake Isabella was the city of Bakersfield. Considered the oil capital of California, it was also the home of Cecilia.
I was born here in Bakersfield, and I've been here all my life. I've never moved. My dad came here first when he was 17, and my mom, she came here when she was 23. She works in the fields. Our hours are like 5 in the morning to like 3, 4. There's 9 people living in my house. My mom, my 3 brothers, my sister-in-law, and 3 nephews. So it's always crowded. We're always like, excuse me.
By Cecilia's junior year, she was taking nearly all AP classes, plus a class dedicated to helping students get into college.
All right, I need to sit down with you guys and go through this week a little bit. We have some details for your projects that we need to get squared away.
My freshman year, I started AVID, and they started talking about how college is really important. It's kind of like DARE, like don't do drugs, but like AVID, go to college.
We want everything to be in our digital portfolios. All I'm gonna do for you to turn in is you say, hey, I'm done. I'll slide it over to my computer, and I'm gonna make I met Cecilia when she was an 8th grader when I recruited. She's just an awesome kid, you know? And she wants to go to college, she wants to be something, so she works really hard. And she'll stress herself out sometimes too, but she works hard. She's a good kid.
Just south of Los Angeles, nestled between Compton and Bellflower, was the city of Paramount, home to Kara Soma, or, as his friends called him, Soma.
I attended Paramount since my 9th grade year all the way to my junior year right now. Play football, volleyball, rugby, track and field, and I'm in the PI club. The PI club is a group of kids that wants to learn how to do dances, Polynesian dances, Hawaiian dances.
On this day, Soma and his classmates were headed to the Queen Mary for a special performance.
We have one specific dance for the boys. It's like a warrior dance called the haka.
The Pacific Islander community is very large in the South Bay area. It's a very, very loving community, and everyone knows everyone. And everyone loves to dance, and everyone loves to share, so that's also very nice. Kara Soma is a very outgoing young man. He's already said, Miss T, I'm going to be president of the club next year. And sometimes just throughout the day, he'll come in the classroom and say, hi, give me a hug, Auntie, and then he'll leave. So he's just a sweet kid.
As the students went about their normal lives, across the nation, there were concerns about the future of college access.
One of the tragedies of higher education is that still we are serving fairly select populations.
By continuing to cut funding, what we see is that the institutions are forced to turn away students.
The United States used to be the leader in higher education attainment, that is the percent graduating from college, and now we've slipped considerably.
Bishop game? Yeah, it was pretty cool. My whole family pretty much lives in Lake Isabella. Like, we're pretty much related to everyone, have a huge family. My grandma owns Cheryl's Diner, and I work there. And it's fun, I have a job, I'll always have a job if I need it.
It's really great working with Jessica at the diner. And it's actually really great working with my family at the diner, you know. I mean, and we've all done that forever. I didn't graduate high school. I quit school when I was a senior. So that's why it's been so important for me to, you know, have her succeed.
I get along with my mom very well. And it's nice because I know, like, hardly anybody has a relationship like we do.
Soma, what you doing? Picture? No.
I have a lot of family. Most of them live in American Samoa. I don't really know that much of my dad's part of the family because he was like the only one from his family that came down here in America. My mom moved down here and I was born in Compton.
I came from Samoa in 1979. I was single. I got married here. I met my husband here. I didn't even know I'm gonna get 4 kids, but God blessed me 4 kids. I'm a busy mother, you know. When they're young, I take care. When my husband was here, he helped me. But now I'm doing the job all by myself.
Last year, March 5th, I was at the hospital with my pops, and out of nowhere, he started getting sick. Called my mom and my brother to come. My mom seen that he was struggling trying to breathe and stuff. So my mom just told the doctor to take out the machine thing, and then my dad passed away. And that's what happened.
You hurry up, we gotta go to church, okay?
Okay.
Grandma, where's Grandma?
Come on. My pops, he always like pushed me to the limit. Even though it's hard, he always tell me to try my best and make sure you pray to God.
Soma knew that going to college would have made his father proud. So despite his family's financial situation, he was determined to find a way.
I don't have no money that's saved right now for college, but this one guy's helping, and he said Massachusetts, Harvard University, they pay your way to college. So that's what I'm thinking of going.
What Soma didn't know was that Harvard was one of the most competitive schools in the nation, and his 3.0 GPA wasn't going to make him a likely candidate.
I don't know how things go if you had to have, like how much the college, you had to have the whole amount at the same time, is that it? I mean, I don't know. But I'll find a way. But Soma, I'm so proud of him. You know, Mom, when I go to college, I can make more money, you know, to take care of you and help our family.
While Soma's family worried about how they were going to pay for college, in Inglewood, Dante's mom, Arlene, currently living on welfare, was worried about finding a job.
No, just got here.
Okay. So this is gonna be your new case manager, and but like I told you, I want to make it clear I'm still here. So if you need anything, call me. I know you will.
I understand you're interested in recovery.
Yes, I want to get back. I'm gonna, you know, took a long time for me to want to be clean.
Yeah.
And to actually can say that I'm 2 years clean, still, that's a lot. Well, I was on drugs for like 24 years. Took me all the way down. I mean, really, literally, I ended up living in an alley.
In 2007, Arlene and her kids were adopted by Imagine LA, a nonprofit organization that helps homeless families get back on their feet.
They like my fairy god people. I'm just gonna put it like that. Without them, I, you know, wouldn't have been able to have the kids back in my life. That's my Dante right there.
Yeah.
He's gonna be an important part of everything. You're gonna meet him a lot.
Yeah. You play basketball?
No, I play football.
Oh no, he's football.
Football number.
Basketball.
Yeah.
He's my investment rock right there.
Yeah.
He takes care of me. I'll come in here and don't do nothing, and he'll come in here and clean up the whole house. Do it. He takes care of me. He does. He takes care of me.
I made this book for my mom after we came back from visiting my dad, and I took lots of pictures. This is in Tijuana at the beach. This is my mom and dad.
My dad, he wasn't here when I was born. He was put into jail and then bailed out. And then January 25th, I remember, of last year, a law passed saying that any resident that commits a crime is immigrated out of the country. And he was in a detention center for a year and a half. And just a few weeks ago, they deported him.
This is a picture of my dad. He was trying to be funny there. Memories.
Right now, everything's uncertain. Like, we might just go visit him over the summer when we, like, don't have school, like, or we might just, I don't know.
As junior year was coming to an end, the college admissions process was just beginning. Step 1, take the SAT.
To tell you the truth, the SAT was the hardest test I ever took in my life. Like, I seen words I didn't even know how to pronounce, how to say. So I'm gonna try to take the SAT as much as I can so I can get a good score.
I think I did pretty well on the writing portion of it. That wasn't very hard, but I don't know. We'll see when my scores come.
I'm taking the SAT test. That's coming in June 7. I feel confident because it's like any other test, all I gotta do is just like pray to God and stuff to help me like trying to pass this test.
I'm taking the SAT and ACT. I've heard that they're really hard, and I want to score lots of points so I can like get accepted to a good college.
Every year, colleges talk about how much more competitive they were than the year before, and so that anxiety around test prep is feeding this frenzy of how much test prep I can get and how much more my scores can go up.
Low-income students don't have access to these test prep classes, and they tend to do worse on the SAT on average.
In fact, if you look at the national averages, as family income goes up from $20,000 to over $200,000 a year, students' SAT scores directly correlate to how much their families make.
That's not because the kids, rich kids are smarter. It's because of the opportunities that students have.
Baking soda, 1 teaspoon.
And salt, right?
Make sure you don't rip the recipe, because we need it. Get the sugar out while you're over there.
We're all in each other's way.
I know.
Milk chocolate, right?
The third one by so fast.
It's crazy, and it's our last year.
Senior year's gonna go fast, though.
Kayla!
We just made the cookie.
We just made cookie dough.
We want cookie dough?
You're slow.
This is the first time we've all been together all summer. That's
Been
just
to a
us.
party.
Party. What score did you guys get on SATs?
Bad.
I got 15 something. I don't know, but you got like
What'd
17.
you get? I don't know about you guys, but I've already started applying for scholarships online.
Yeah,
I did
I've
too.
tried.
It's confusing.
Yeah.
It's confusing, but I've done like 2 successful.
I'm gonna go into
Fast
talk
web?
to Miss.
They're gonna tell you to go on FastWeb, and it's the most confusing thing.
Oh my gosh, that looks disgusting.
Yeah, my parents are gonna pay for my college, but since they have to pay for my brother's too, I'm gonna probably have to take out like a bunch of student loans.
Don't take out student loans.
Well, you have to. How else are you gonna pay?
That's not that bad if you go to that one that's on the TV. I can't think of what it's called.
Strive?
Yeah, it looks like a pretty good deal to me. I don't know. I'm just gonna throw that out
I'm
there.
just saying, Ben, I think they're still paying off.
Yeah, you pay them.
Yeah,
those
those
take a long
they do
time.
take a long time, but I mean,
But it's,
and if you don't have the money to pay for your college,
it's
like
better
what else
that
are you
than
gonna do?
not go.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just saying.
Okay, everybody listen up. Please come here. Today we're running the course. Run at a good pace. Don't run. It's not a race pace. It's not fast, but it's not your slowest pace either. Okay? We're gonna start in the corner.
It was still a few weeks before senior year would begin, but already cross-country practice was underway.
Ready? Go!
This was Cecilia's 3rd year in cross-country, and she was the 2nd fastest runner on the girls' team. Running had become more than just a sport for Cecilia. It was a way for her to escape the pressures she felt at home.
Hispanic women are expected to stay home and clean the house and take care of their husband.
I don't want to be a housewife. Like, I want to be an independent woman.
It's so hard to move away from the expectations and like prove to them that I'm serious. My mom's thinking about moving to Mexico to go with my dad, and she wants us to go with her. I'm gonna have to listen to her because I'm not 18 yet, and I'm scared of her like making these choices and changes.
Okay, here. First and foremost, we have got to work harder. I know there's a lot of us that are competitive and we don't like to lose. We all need to decide why we're here.
With summer ending, the reality of senior year was starting to set in.
Senior year, I'm not even sure what to think about it. It's bittersweet. It's cool that we're seniors, you know, like we're finally there. And I know this year is gonna go by really fast, which kind of scares me even more because once it's over, you know, and I don't know, like, scary. Scary, scary. I have hard classes this year, and I'm not really looking forward to it. Drama 2, AP English, Math Analysis, Government, Econ, and Leadership.
Have a good year. Be sure to see me first thing. We can start on those scholarships.
I know, I need to talk to you about that. You'll probably be real busy the first week, but...
Anytime. Okay. Just come in and talk to me.
Welcome back.
Today is the first game, lock game. It's cracking. You see my voice is going already. It ain't even started yet. It's so live. I'm so ready. We focus. The first game. We ready. Lock. Let's go.
We're very excited about this season. We have our work cut out for us, but we look forward to the challenge. Dante is a big part of the process. He's going to be playing offensive guard. He's the fastest lineman in the nation. He's going to be playing linebacker. We want him to hit people and hit them hard.
Defense out D, defense out D. What out D, defense? Al-Qaeda! Al-Qaeda! Shift to it!
Dante was intent on getting a football scholarship, and today was his first chance to impress the scouts.
The L.A. Jordan program has been one that I've watched in the years I've been here at SC to really come alive. We're here recruiting kids because it's a program that really does elevate kids' opportunities, and so we're pleased to be here. It's the first game of the year, and here I am. You know, it's first chance to get out, and I came right to Jordan.
Nice victory, first game, 42-17, or whatever. You feel me? Knocked it out, you know. L.A. Jordan, we on top. First game, lock game.
Went good. We got the win. Ready for next week.
How'd Dante play?
Great. He had his Dante special. What'd he get? 24 yards on the Dante special? About 24 yards on the Dante special. He almost scored. Almost beat him.
Cecilia's mom was making frequent trips down to Mexico to visit her dad. Tired of being left home alone and nervous that the trips would become more permanent, Cecilia decided to move in with her best friend's family.
We just didn't want to see Cecilia have to go to Mexico or go to another place, and my wife's like, you know, I want to see her have the same opportunity as our children.
My mom, she's only looking for herself right now. And I understand that, but I'm looking for better things for myself. And this is one of them.
I feel a lot more comfortable with this family. Okay, I feel like I actually can have a future with this family.
And it's easier here, and like I don't feel by myself.
To pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
Bien, classe, faites attention s'il vous plaît. Louis ou Lara? Louis. Louis, c'est très bien.
Karasoma is a very unique young man. He has a lot of charisma and personality, but college is not usually something that's pushed in their culture.
Yeah, Louis, In fact, Dr. Victor Thompson started this group called Inpine, and what they're trying to do is expose the parents and the students to the benefits of going to college.
The mission of Enpine is to help students, number one, that believe that they can go to college. 1 out of 10 Pacific Islanders actually graduate from college, and so that's why our message is an important one. So it's helping them to believe, and then secondly, introducing them to mentors and other role models within the community.
Like many of his peers, Soma's educational goals were driven by his economic situation. In fact, 25% of Pacific Islander children live below the poverty line, and college is often seen as their only way out.
This country is afraid of dealing with issues of class, and we have to recognize that poor students are predominantly underrepresented in higher education.
In our first-generation communities, the most cost-effective way to break the cycle of poverty is to get young people with a college degree.
With senior year well underway, Cecilia was the first student to meet with her high school counselor for her graduation check.
The first thing I want you to take a look at is your transcript. So let's go over that. I see that you've been taking all of the right courses, including your AP courses and honors classes, and you've done very well. So have you started to take a look at your scholarships? Or?
No, I haven't, but I'm planning to.
Okay. A lot of times, family members can provide some money too. And a lot of times, aunts and uncles and grandparents have saved a little bit of money. I'm not sure, have they done anything like that, have they said?
No.
No?
No.
Yeah.
I'm on my own.
You're on your own?
Yeah.
Okay. And you told me what colleges you want to go to, but what were the top 3 that you were looking at?
UCLA, Santa Barbara, and Fresno State.
Right. UCLA, of course, is difficult to get into in the sense that it has so many people apply. But a lot of times, a good, solid student can get into UCLA also, but a lot of it's going to be dependent on what you've got in your personal statement. Concentrate on that particular aspect. Keep your grades up, and then concentrate on that personal statement. So take a look at your own personal qualities, I guess, and what you've done.
Many low-income students are doing it completely on their own. They may not have a parent who can help them through the process. A parent may not even speak English to be able to help them and give them feedback on their essays or edit it for them or just give them any kinds of support.
They don't talk about going to college. Their moms and dads don't drive them around the fall or the summer between 11th and 12th grade to visit different campuses. A lot of these students have never even set foot on a college campus. They think it's private territory, even if it's a public like UCLA.
Cross country. Do they have a good team? Women's cross country.
Look how tall they are. Oh my God.
Wow.
5'7", 5'8", 5'7", 5'4", 5'9".
I'm 5'4". Okay, this one's...
Well, I'm 5'1".
UCLA is my dream school. Like, I don't know, just everything. I want to be a Bruin. Like, I just want to get accepted there. Like, so bad.
Everyone who's in chapter 3, does anybody need the computer? Okay, it's all set up and ready to go.
Hopefully, I get accepted to a historically black college, like Atlanta A&T, Georgia, Clark, what else, Morris Brown, Morehouse. So that's one big, a big dream that I have, hopefully come true. So the amendment process illustrates federalism by the amendments are proposed at a national level but are ratified on a state by state basis. They proposed by national, like big, like you feel me, the whole national nation, you know, so like a whole nation level, but it gotta be ratified by state, you feel me, states gotta, you feel me, join together, you feel me, agree on it, you feel me? And then if I get bad grades, I can't play football, you know, I can't run track, I can't do what I wanna do. So, you know, I gotta do what I have to do what I wanna do, yeah.
Dante's grades had been drastically improving since he got out of juvenile detention his sophomore year. Now he had an overall GPA of 2.8 and was working hard to try to make it on the honor roll this year.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi.
Come on in. We're going to go over your transcripts, and we're going to make sure that you're ready for college, that you're on track. So as far as your standing in your class, there's 144 seniors this year, and you are number 14, which is something to be very proud of. So what do you think you're going to do after high school?
I don't really want to leave home. Like, my whole family lives in the Valley, and I don't have a problem commuting back and forth to a different city.
Some of our students haven't had enough exposure to the outside world. So as counselors, our challenge here would be to bring the outside world in so that they realize that there's a whole world of possibilities out there. I think your idea to stay near family is really good, but it also could be your backup plan because you're bright enough that you can apply just about to any state college and you would be accepted.
She was talking to me about my class rank and my GPA, and she was saying that basically I could get into any 4-year in the state that I wanted to, and I just didn't even know that. I honestly didn't think that I could get in that easily.
All right. All righty. A lot to think about.
I think that going to a 4-year and living somewhere else would be really exciting, but at the same time it's going to be really scary. Because it is all new. You're not going to know anybody. You're going to be a completely new, different place and not have any security.
Caught in between what you want and what you need. So come on, come on.
I'm definitely going to go to college. That's not going to change. It's just where and money and scholarships, everything. I don't know, I just have a lot to think about.
You say I should just slow down, know that I can.
We got a league race today. It's our last league race of the season. We're running against Stockdale and Centennial. Two of our bigger rivals this year, so it's a pretty big race. Cecilia's got a definite chance to run for several schools in California. Cross country doesn't typically give out 100% scholarships, but she's definitely the caliber for some of the other smaller schools in the state to get a scholarship and run.
This race is my last race from cross country, like since I'm a senior, and I want to do good.
After winning the first race of the season, Cecilia began to blow away the competition and ended up becoming North High's #1 runner and one of the fastest girls in Kern Valley.
I qualified for state. I'm the only person from North High that qualified to state.
Well, I hope I get to see you again. All right, man, you did a good job. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you. I had a coach from BC. He just told me if I wanted to run and stuff, to contact him, give him his card.
What's BC?
BC, Bakersfield College, like it's here. And they have a pretty good team, but I want to go to UC.
Bakersfield College, or BC, is the local community college that many students from Bakersfield and Kern Valley decide to attend as an alternative to a 4-year university.
Community colleges serve great purposes for particular kinds of students. But the reality is that upper-class kids who could go to a first-tier institution will, because the support structures exist with their families, with their high schools, and with their communities. In low college-going schools, those support structures are totally absent.
The result is that at the 146 most selective schools in the country, 74% of students come from the wealthiest quartile, while only 3% come from the poorest.
Watts is a community that's been abandoned by our society. Watts is a community that's where crime and gangs and drugs have been allowed to flourish. We have overcrowding in the neighborhood, people living in garages, high rate of incarceration of at least one parent, a lot of one-parent families. All of our students, when you talk to them, have been assaulted at least one time on their way to school, way home. There's not a day that goes by that we don't think about these things, or our students are not being influenced by these things. When we come on Monday, we have to be concerned and thinking about what happened over the weekend, who was shot, who was hurt. We pray to God that it wasn't one of our students.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm all right.
You ready to do your grad check?
Yeah.
Okay. When you look at your graduation requirements, there's an amount that's required for graduation for a diploma, and then there's the recommended requirements for when you're applying to colleges. So in the spring, you're gonna have physics, Spanish 2, your senior English.
I gotta take physics?
It's highly recommended.
That's gonna be all work. I know physics, Spanish, and math. That's gonna be all.
It'll be work, but you can do it. I personally believe all students have the potential to go to college. It's definitely a possibility for Dante. I mean, he's got a lot of potential. The critical thing with Dante he needs to keep in mind is managing the deadlines. Okay, so will you bring in your SAT score to me tomorrow? Now, if you took it once before, are you gonna take it again? Yeah. Okay. On your to-do list, see Ms. Cox for SAT prep class on Saturdays. And then I wrote Mr. Whitman also has the SAT prep during the week. So at least you have two options, but I think with your schedule that you're probably gonna want the Saturday. Okay? Okay.
In low-income schools, especially in California, the college counselor to student rate is 1 to about 800 students. Now think of that for a moment. That means that 800 students need to rely on one individual to go to college. That's not a very good number.
So, you are a senior now.
Yeah.
Isn't that exciting?
Yeah.
What do you want to do after high school?
Well, after high school, I'm trying to go to University College and do engineering or mechanic. Anything that does with fixing stuff.
Fixing? What do you want to fix?
Like cars or computers.
You just like to hands-on
Yeah.
fix things.
Somo realized that Harvard was out of his reach and instead set his sights on the only school he had visited, the University of Southern California.
Well, my dream school is USC, but I don't know, like, I had to do a lot of work to get my GPA up that high in order for me to go there.
Okay, so these are the colleges and universities in the state of California that you can go ahead and take a look at. Good. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, thank you.
It's the middle of my senior year, and we're doing good. We're in the playoffs, and everything's good, you know. So I signed up for the ACT, and that's the same day as the big game. So if we make it, I'm gonna have to, I guess, reschedule that or something.
The real challenge for Dante or for any first-generation student going to college is learning the system, learning about the importance of SAT, ACT tests, and explain to the student, you really need to take that SAT prep class to prepare for something in the future.
these tests is a must-do for colleges. But right now, you know, since we're in the playoffs, I haven't even been, you know, thinking about other classes. We're just really thinking about this football.
Boy back to pass, he fires long.
Hey, fellas, way to go, man. Clap it up! Clap it up! Clap it up!
Really, you know, the classes I take them, you know, after if they're still available, I'll take them to help me out for my preparation. But if not, you know, I'm gonna just have to do my best and try my hardest. That's it.
Put eyes on me! 1, 2, 3!
Anywhere is fine.
Yes.
Hey.
What's going on?
No.
Actually, I'm waiting for Jess to get off.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm just.
Do you want something to drink? Are you?
Yeah.
That's great. You want something to drink while you're waiting?
Sure. Nice tea.
My parents got a divorce in my freshman year. And my dad and like our relationship is a lot different now, I'd say. I don't really see him that often, and it's sad, and I wish it wasn't like that. Sand, I think we're gonna eat outside.
Oh, okay.
I don't really talk to my dad a whole lot about school and college and things. He hasn't offered to help me. And I don't want to ask him. I'm not afraid to ask him, but I don't want to get in a fight, in an argument about it. And I know that it will.
So what happens if some of these scholarships don't come through? How do you think you're gonna be able to go?
Well, I don't know. I mean, if I have to, then I'll get a loan, I guess. That's not what I want to do, but...
Well, you're gonna waitress, right, this summer, so hopefully you can save a little bit.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and save up as much as I can, but I'm not doing well. I've got my car and my insurance and everything, and I have, like, no money in my savings. I'm not, like, I don't know. But...
So, I mean, when I was Jess's age, I always had to go out and work, and nothing's for free. I mean, that's not the way it's supposed to be. If you want something, you earn it. And I've tried to instill that with my children, so obviously it works, because she knows she's working. She's been working for a few years now, so. Well, what about going up here for a little while, taking some of the classes you gotta have?
I don't want to go up here.
Well, I know, but if you had to, I mean,
I don't want to. I won't be. I don't want to go up here.
Well, they got a community college up here, Cerro Coso. I know there's some classes that she's got to be able to take. I know in the world these days that you need a college education, so they say so. I personally believe some of the people that go to college, just because they have a piece of paper doesn't mean that they know what they're doing, and at least in the business that I'm in, so. But I think it's great, and I hope she can follow through. Well, at least if you're staying up here, you can work up here some.
It'll be fine.
Let's see what happens.
I know that he loves me, and I know that he tries, but at the same time, I wonder, you know, how hard he's trying.
The California economy is getting really bad. It's really rough to keep up our mortgage payments, and work is getting really hard to find. We do demolition, and we also sell equipment. And the housing market's gone, so there went all of our equipment sales. So we decided to kind of move on to a place with a lot more stable economy.
We're doing this because we know it's better for us, but at the same time, it's the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my whole entire life.
I just found out that Michelle's parents and her family are moving, and I have to make a decision whether I go with them or I stay with my mother. I love my mom, but it's just hard living with her.
Have you spoken to your mother about moving out of state?
Yes, she said she wasn't okay with it, but she was gonna let me do what I wanted to and what I needed to do. Leaving my senior year is dramatic. And no matter what happens, I'm gonna go to college. So it doesn't make a difference, really.
The #1 driver of economic growth in the United States is the college graduation rate of the adult population.
The cost to the economy ran in on the order of $400 to $600 billion from the fact that we are not providing the same opportunities to low-income students.
And we've done research that's highlighted how for every dollar we invest in higher education, we get a $3 return.
Start talking about demand. Demand is what drives any economic system. You can't sell stuff without it.
I should have went and talked to my counselors about applying to colleges early, and for her to help me, because right now I'm really struggling through applying to it and the money thing.
Soma lived with 9 family members in a 2-bedroom apartment. Because of the cramped quarters, Soma slept on the couch while his mom made her bed on the living room floor. With such a close-knit family, Soma's mom was concerned about him moving away for college, so she sat down with him to talk about where he wanted to apply.
USC, where's that?
Oh, there in LA.
So it's near, right?
Nah, it's a little bit far. It's a far drive.
But you can stay in campus too?
Yeah. My counselor said that I have to do this by my own, so I'm gonna go to the Career Center and try to ask questions.
See, Soma, this is a new thing. How the things going? Who's gonna pay the fare and everything?
That's why I'm signing up for FAFSA. It only
What is
depends.
that again? FAFSA?
Financial aid for students. We get money for college.
That's good. So how long are you gonna be in the college or something?
4 years.
Oh my God, 4 years. You're my only son is gonna move out from the family, and I don't know how I'm gonna take it.
I took my SATs for the second time, and I scored 1,000 times better. The first time I received 990, and the second time was 1,950.
Unbeknownst to Cecilia, her new SAT score and outstanding GPA made her a competitive applicant to any of the top 50 schools in the country, including UCLA.
I still need to apply to UCLA, of course. I really want to go there so bad.
I think for Cecilia, UCLA is a possibility as long as she has that connection with somebody that's reading her essay. She's an AP student, she's smart, she's dedicated, and so she's gonna have to focus on what she says on her personal statement and how much she wants to give of herself in that. And so if she can get that done on time and it can be well written, I think she'll have a good chance.
I was offered a scholarship from Robert Boyles, the cross-country coach for CSUB, but if I get into UCLA, I'll go there no matter what, and no matter if I don't get any scholarships or anything, I'll go there.
Like Cecilia, Jess had also heard from Cal State Bakersfield.
I applied for CSUB. I got a letter on the spot pretty much because we had a lady come in from the school and she just came around and checked everybody's GPA and she had letters for everybody already, so it was kind of funny and kind of cool at the same time that I got into a college. CSUB, I don't know, I mean, it's a university, but it just, everyone gets in there, so.
Here we go. Fortune tellers and diviners. Let's review quickly what happens to these guys. Okay, their heads are backwards. Remember, and look, they can't see in front of them, which is significant because fortune tellers and diviners wanted to see the future. Okay, so their punishment is.
I could win the lottery or something. Berkeley is good school or UCLA or, and you know, I've actually thought about those schools. It's just the expenses of everything just puts a limit on a lot of stuff.
Jess, like many students across the country, was looking at schools based on their published prices. But what she didn't know was that the financial aid she would receive due to her parents' income would greatly reduce the cost of attending.
You know, $70 an application is a prohibitive factor for students who are from low-income backgrounds. Yes, they can get fee waivers, but a lot of times they're not even aware of how to ask for the fees to be waived.
Taking on debt on the order of $19,000, which is the average debt that college students come out with today, is an enormous undertaking for a family that's living paycheck to paycheck.
Every year, people take out loans for houses, cars, and education. And if you look at how those investments pay off over 30 years, a home should give you about 6 times your initial investment. A car will lose its value, but a bachelor's degree will raise your earning power $22,000 more a year. And over the course of a lifetime, a college graduate will earn $1 million more than a high school graduate, multiplying that initial investment by 52. Down in Inglewood, Dante's football season had ended with no prospects of a scholarship. Now he and his mom were wondering how they would pay for college.
I know you want to go out of state. I know you want to go to one of them black colleges, and I know the tuition on them is just way out of range. All the money I spent over the years on drugs could have been his college tuition. I think about stuff like that. Me not being able to help it myself. You know, it doesn't make me feel less than, it's just, I wish I could. And what did the counselor say about applying for these black colleges?
She's like, the first thing, your room and board, like everything's gonna be higher for you, like way higher because you're not a resident.
Although Dante understood that many schools cost more for out-of-state students, what he didn't realize was that the colleges he was interested in were private schools that didn't charge out-of-state tuition.
I really had to get this Cal State, like, out of the way so that could be like a for sure, you know, I can get out of here. Yeah, basically, no. Black colleges I want to go, but if I can't go, you know, I'm not about to cry about it, you know. It wasn't meant for me, obviously, I guess, or something, you know, but I'm going to still try to go, you know.
Tell us so.
Basically, you know.
You're my responsible child, you are. You the one gonna make mom proud, I know that. That's a good thing.
I'm gonna try my hardest, though, you know.
I know you are. That's what makes it all okay.
We're here at the California State Cross Country Championships. All the best schools are here. You get a lot of Division I colleges here scouting, recruiting kids to go to college next year.
This is my first time making it to state, and I'm very excited. At the beginning of the season, I thought it was going to be like every year, second place. But it turned out different, and I'm happy, you know? Like, I'm happy where I'm at. I'm happy how I feel.
Runners, take your mark.
Cross-country season, my senior year, feels good. Like 100 pounds of weight came off me. Like, that's how I feel. I have to do everything for UCLA by Sunday. I hope I do. I hope I get it done.
This will be against the wall right on this side, don't you think?
Because I mean, it looks good from that side, right?
Uh-huh.
So that's what we care about. Jess, do you want to plug this into that one?
Yeah.
I love those.
Aren't they cool?
Yeah. Okay, so I'll sit here and hand you guys ornaments. How's that?
When I got my senior check, my counselor told me that I qualify to go to any UC.
Uh-huh.
And I was surprised by that. I didn't.
Why were you surprised?
I don't know. I just didn't think about that.
Well, I know, but I mean, you shouldn't be surprised. You're smart. Jess doesn't seem to give herself enough credit as far as her ability to do things. And it's frustrating for me sometimes because I see that she is smart and she could go anywhere she wants to go, obviously. They're telling us that that's what she can do. But, money's always a factor. So that's a big issue.
I don't know. I'm just scared to go anywhere.
Why are you so scared?
Well, I mean, the expense of a UC in and of itself is a reason not even to consider it. It's just, I don't want to regret it.
Why do you think you would regret it?
I don't know, because I want to get a bachelor's.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be okay without it. I would be able to get a good job without it, but I don't know.
It is going to be a little bit difficult because, we get child support from your dad, and that's going to end on your birthday. Have you approached that subject with your dad? Because you have gas, you have books, you're going to be driving back and forth.
I don't think it'll help me.
Why do you think that?
I just don't think he would.
Well, it'd be real easy for him to throw you a couple $100s a month, for just whatever, and it's going to be hard for you to have a job to cover your expenses is all I'm saying. It scares me. I'm scared. I got 7 months because I have a $400 check that I get every month, and that's gonna not be here. And I'm scared to death. And I don't want you to feel pressure. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I try to hold it in. I try to cover it up, and it doesn't. I'm sorry.
That's what would help with going to BC, though. It's not way less expensive than going to a Cal State. And just all the scholarships that you can apply for and hopefully get. A lot less stress on you and your mom.
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every year, Soma and his family attended the Enpine Awards, which celebrates the Pacific Islander culture and helps families learn about life after high school.
In the Samoan culture, there's something called fa'alavelave. Fa'alavelave is an important part of our culture, which means when someone's in trouble, we give back to help that individual. The problem is, if you're making minimum wage, it's very difficult because you're in a cycle here of giving and giving and never getting ahead. So in working with parents, we try to teach them that as you go to college, you'll have more earning power, and then you'll be able to contribute to Fa'alavelave and still be able to get ahead with your own family.
Are you guys?
Are y'all ready?
Oh, yo. Oh, who has a baby? Oh, we need a kiki for her.
I have to get everybody get ready, get set, make sure everything's going good, going great, and then it'll be solid.
Fuck yeah!
yours, and I got mine. And this is a medal for having a good GPA. Have a 3.2 GPA.
It was the end of February, and Dante had one more week before the historically black college applications were due.
There are 4 different types of writing that we need to cover in the next 17 weeks. There's narrative, expository, persuasive, and descriptive. I wrote to you about how the Lakers are the best basketball team in the nation. Is that expository, persuasive, narrative, or descriptive?
Persuasive.
Got a slick one here. Good job. Okay. Why is it persuasive?
Because that's like giving your opinion. You trying to make them know why they the best. You trying to persuade them to see why the Lakers is the best. In your words.
That's good. That's all I got. Thank you guys for being a good class. You guys can put up your stuff, and then we'll be out of here in 2 seconds.
I recently, I had a 4.0 straight A's, but now, you feel me, I got A and 3 B's, and it's the honor roll. It's posted up in the main office and all that, you feel me? My name Dante Gray, you feel me? 3.25, so, I'm trying to do all I can do, for my senior year. You know what I'm saying? Okay, 3.2, you feel me? Honor roll, 12th grade, you feel me? Nothing too big, just a little something, try hard and all that, so it's cool.
Where are you at in the process in terms of filling out those applications?
Really, tell you the truth, I haven't filled out no applications for out of state or nothing, but I gotta really buckle down and do it like this week though, so that's one of my goals, for the end of the week, gotta start getting, on these applications, because it's gonna be too late, you feel me? Deadline's coming soon, so I gotta, really buckle down and do what I gotta do.
Do you know when the deadlines are?
No, I don't know when any deadlines are for any school, so, I could be too late for some of them, so, I gotta go in there and do what I gotta do ASAP.
These first-generation students are getting a competent education, but they're not getting the same kind of education that students from private and suburban schools get, an education that's 24 hours, an education that's at the dinner table, at the breakfast table, an education that's on the car ride to the country club, an education that inculcates them into the culture. These first-generation students have a much more limited, perhaps quality, but much more limited introduction to American and world culture, and that's a significant deficit that they face.
By the spring of senior year, Cecilia had moved out to Tennessee with her best friend's family. But as she settled into her new high school, she began to regret her decision.
When I just moved here to Tennessee, I felt very sad because I couldn't get into school. I was behind. Everything was just going wrong. And I miss California. I miss my teachers. It just makes it easier your senior year to be around people you know. Here, I feel like an outsider. I have had to be on my own my whole life, but school was there for me. They were like my parents. And I think this place made me grow up.
By April, colleges had finished sending out their acceptance letters and financial aid awards, and now the students had to decide where they would attend. Up in Lake Isabella, Kern Valley High School was giving out their senior awards, but the real excitement would come later that evening with the announcement of the local scholarship winners.
Today you will feel the pride as each student steps forward for special recognition in the area of academics.
I don't believe the students at Kern Valley High School understand the whole college process because Kern Valley High School is designated by the state of California as a high poverty school. That in itself speaks volumes. Our students come from families who, for the most part, have not gone to college. Some are not even high school graduates. Many of our students come to us from families that just putting food on the table is an issue.
For excellence in economics, Jessica Chevalier.
Being in a small town is tough because I guess if you're in a bigger city, you know where to go. You know what to look for. You know who to talk to. But up here, the opportunity as far as what to choose isn't always there in front of your face.
English Advanced Placement, Jessica Chevalier.
My dad wasn't there today, but he said he's gonna be there tonight. So I invited him, but he wasn't able to because he's working, so that's okay.
Okay, Drama, Jessica Chevalier.
There's a local scholarship application that we got a while ago, and it goes out to like 60 different organizations around the valley. So this night we get the results from that. This is sort of like the big deal here. Hope I get something.
Oh, good evening. This is actually one of my favorite nights because what a great night we get to give kids money to go to college. Doesn't get any better than that. One of the things that we battle here is the fear of the unknown is what it really is. Because no one in their family or no one they know, any of their friends have experienced any of those issues or problems associated with moving away to go to college. Leaving the Valley means leaving what they know. I have the Bank of America Achievement Awards for English, Jessica Chevalier.
I would like to present two $1,000 scholarships to Jessica Chevalier.
Jessica Chevalier.
Jessica Chevalier.
Jessica Chevalier.
Jessica Chevalier.
I'm going to BC. Right now, it's a lot cheaper to go to Bakersfield College, and it's more of a career-based school, and I could get a job right away. I did want to go to a UC, but it's $50 just to apply, and so I just decided not to, and then it sort of got too late. I don't know, like, there's so much to think about, you know, what could have happened and things like that. Like, I don't know.
With the football season long behind him, Dante was putting all his efforts into track.
I do the 4x1 relay, 100 and 200 meters, and anything else that they need me to do. So, hopefully, we're going to, take this. Everybody from Jordan, Yeah, I really didn't want to go, out of state to a historically black college, but, I wasted a lot of time, just procrastinating and putting it off. So, actually, I decided I'm going to Sacramento State in the fall.
Like a shooting star all around the world. I'm a different kind of man than I used to be. Used to be scandalous, vandalous. Never let no punk get the upper hand of this. But everything can change in a moment like this. I forgot the dreams that I used to dream. Like a little kid saying prayers through the window screen. I'm gonna keep on running, ain't gonna stop at nothing. I can see the light at the end of the road. Get out the way, I'm coming.
I'm very excited that Dante's going to Sacramento State. He's excited, I'm excited, but I'm scared at the same time because I'm going to be losing my boy, my baby. He's growing up on me.
I'm flying all around the world. And live your dreams like you want to live your dreams.
Financially, I don't have a clue, so I'm putting it in God's hands. Hopefully he'll have a job by then and, a couple of jobs, because he's gonna need a couple. I wish him to go wherever he wanted to go, but we really couldn't afford that. Him going out of state somewhere, come on now. I mean, so no, it wasn't in our budget. It wasn't really in the plan. That's just something he wanted to do, but it wasn't gonna work.
The Eastern League champs and the varsity guys this year goes to Coach Butler at Jordan High School.
The payments is that's still one thing I'm working on. It's a real big thing in my mind too. But what I got accepted for the FAFSA is financial aid, something. So that's one thing that's gonna help me, potentially, make my payments and do everything I have to do for Sacramento.
In the middle of senior year, Soma's family upgraded their living situation from a 2-bedroom to a more spacious 3-bedroom apartment.
My old place, I was sleeping in the living room because there wasn't that much room, and now over here it's more easier because I go somewhere so I can sleep. And this room is me, my older brother, and his wife. This is their big king-size bed. I have my little small bed over there. Yeah.
When it came time to apply to USC, Soma found out that he didn't have enough prerequisites to qualify for admission.
I was really bummed out about no one telling me those requirements that I needed to take 3 years of science and 4 years of math, so it didn't really work out, so I just applied to Cal State's.
I am tortured when I encounter a student at a high school visit or a college fair who has the aspiration of becoming a doctor. And as I talk with them about their preparation and discover they've never taken chemistry, they've never taken biology, they don't plan to take physics, and they don't know.
And how do we support those kinds of student services, expanding counselors, and creating that college-going culture so that students can get information and can actually go to college and go to a college that's a good fit for them.
Of the schools that Soma did apply to, his first choice was Cal State Long Beach, one of the higher-ranked Cal States. It was also close to home.
Thank you, and I want to welcome you to our awards night. And I got home from school, from practice, and then my mom said, "You got a mail." Like, "From where?" "Cal State Long Beach." Oh man, I hope I get this. So I got the letter. I was praying for a little bit, opened my eyes, opened the letter, and I looked, opened it, oh, I got accepted. Woo.
Getting accepted to Cal State Long Beach was exciting, but money was still a concern. Luckily, the financial aid letter came through in a big way.
When I seen how much I was getting, I was so happy. I was like, oh my gosh, I got this much money.
Finally, our 12th grade students who make the honor roll. After your names are read, please come forward and stand on the risers.
It's stated in here. See, I got all the mail, but I put this inside my purse so I don't have to lose it. Everything right here. You say the total, $18,054.
Kara Soma, Theo.
I am so glad that one in my family is going to college.
For many families, college sticker prices can be intimidating. But what most don't realize is that families making $40,000 a year pay only a fraction of the annual fees due to the financial aid they receive.
Me and the Parkers got into an argument about which college to go to and where was best for me. And I need to make my own decisions. So on April 25th, I'm going back to my old high school, North High School, and I am graduating on May 29th. I really wanted to go to UCLA. I was very set on that idea, but things changed, and I was I had one paragraph in my essay, okay, and I just didn't want to write everything about my whole life. They asked 3 things that have made me inspired to want to succeed in life, and I just didn't want school to pity me or something. I don't know. I just didn't want to write about my whole life. I just gave up. I gave up on the application. I've decided to go to CSUB because they offered and I signed a full contract with paying for everything. If I would have gone to UCLA, I would have had to pay for full tuition, dorms, everything. I can't get that kind of money, okay? I filled out FAFSA, but I haven't heard anything from them, okay? The best decision I made was out of I was desperate, and I know that's the best choice right now. I just thought everything out, and I'm on my own, so I made the best decision.
The assumption is the cost of college is formidable, when in reality, there are loans, there are grants that are available if students know how to get to them.
Poverty throws a lot of barriers at young people. And they're not only barriers that make it harder to get to school or to get an AP physics teacher, but they're also the barriers that narrow just the view of what you think is possible.
While Dante had been accepted to Sacramento State University, by June, he still hadn't received his financial aid offer. Afraid that Dante wasn't going to make it, and knowing that he had no one else to turn to, his counselor stepped in to make sure everything got sorted out.
Hi, my name is Kelly Gilmore, and I'm a guidance counselor with Los Angeles Unified School District, and I'm helping one of my seniors. He's right next to me, so I know you're going to want to speak to him. We're just following up on our phone call on May 15th.
Hello? I need to check my financial aid because it's saying stuff on the website. It's an estimate of $20,000. Then it says total aid of 0. All right, so you said I have to turn in this and my social security card, and then once they get it, it might take, you said 4 to 8 weeks to process. 4 to 8 weeks.
Okay, what about the fact that that's going to be late for you arranging dorms?
So they say you have to pay something before
July
1st.
Are you just on hold? Just stay there. Hi, I have a question for you. When we called in the middle of May, they didn't say that they needed the Social Security card. And they said it's going to take 4 to 8 weeks to finalize his aid package. Okay. What do you guys usually recommend for students that don't have $1,000? They can't even make payments on that?
I don't know.
All right, have a good day. Okay, with the housing, we have to do it right now. But by July 1st, they need $1,000.
I don't even know. $1,000 by the 1st.
Is there any way maybe you have relatives you could like just borrow from until your aid kicks in?
1,000.
I know.
Probably I could try to, that's a month too. That's what I'm saying.
I know.
All right, yeah, so I just know what I gotta do so I can go to college, and if I don't do it, I'm not gonna be going like that, so yeah.
While the future remained uncertain for Dante, there was one thing that all the students could celebrate: high school graduation.
Going to BC doesn't bother me, and I'm okay with this now. Like, I used to have doubts and regrets, but Ethan's decided to go there too, and that's another reason for my choice.
I motivate myself to inspire like the young ones, like my little nieces, my little nephews, and my little niece is like, man, I'm gonna be like him. Like, I like hearing that from my little nieces and nephew. Like, oh, I'm gonna be just like Uncle Summer.
Reminder, you've got about 10 minutes to use the potty, all right? So make sure you do before you get out there, because if you have to go, you're stuck.
I'm graduating honor roll. I graduated with a 3.9 GPA, and only 2 people received athletic scholarships, and I was the only one with a full ride. So I'm excited. I'm pumped. I think I have changed my family's perspective on women. They used to think that women were stay-home people, like get married and that's it, like there's nothing else they can do. And my mom used to think like that until like she went to one of the orientations from CSUB with me, and there was a Spanish-speaking counselor that explained everything to her, and that's when she totally changed the way she thinks, and she supports me more.
It is with great pleasure that I stand here today to welcome you to the commencement exercises of the class of 2009 here at Jordan High School.
At some point, every student will have to make a decision, at least once, about which way am I going to take my life. So do students like Dante turn themselves around, make the right decision? Yes, and that's a miracle that we're grateful for.
There's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle.
Well, graduation is a big accomplishment for me and, you know, my whole family. So I'm gonna be the first person that started, you know, from kindergarten to 12th grade, no mishaps, no dropouts, nothing, going straight in, you know, the first one to graduate, you know, on time. I got all A's and B's, you know. My whole 12th grade year, there's not one C, nothing, you know. So my whole family, really, you know. They know they don't have to worry about me. You know, I've been handling my business, doing my stuff, so I'm ready, you know, be on my own, basically, you know, that manhood, you feel me, you know, so yeah, it's good.
It's the climb. Thank you, class of 2009.
Cecilia Lopez, North Honor Society.
Please stand.
I hereby certify that these students have met all
requirements set forth by the Board of Education of the Paramount Unified School District,
or the graduation requirements of the state of California. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the class of 2009.
This semester, I got a late registration date, so I ended up taking medical terminology up here at Saracoso. And then I got my philosophy class down at Bakersfield, and then I'm taking just a child development class up here. It's kind of funny to think that I had almost a 4.0 most of my high school career, but I didn't go to a university. I ended up in a JC, which is fine, but like it's just funny to think about that to me. Things probably would have been different if money wasn't the issue, but it was. It's not the whole college feel. Like, I know that it would be different at a university, but like, I don't want to say I regret it because then it'll make me feel bad about my decisions, and I don't want to feel bad about them. Like, I just don't.
It's kind of hard to be, you know, These are my food. I don't have that much stuff. My first day going to Cal State Long Beach, everything was going good. Going to class, and then I started getting low scores in tests. I started studying less because I didn't have time to do it, and then just basically staying focused on having fun and not doing what I'm supposed to do in college.
Away from the support of his family and Enpine, Soma struggled with the transition to university life and was forced to transfer to a local community college.
For the next 2 years, I was just basically trying to stay focused on taking my GE classes, fill the requirements for me to transfer back to Cal State Long Beach. About my dad, I think that he's really proud of me just being in college and really growing out to not be a ghetto person or being that person that's a gangster. But I'm just glad that he's watching over me.
As soon as I graduated, I moved out and I painted my room pink. I bought my bed sheet. I'm very happy to live on my own. I feel responsible for myself. I ran at UCLA last weekend, and during the race, I beat some of the UCLA girls, and that's when I felt okay, I could have gone there.
Once Cecilia was in college, she realized that there were a lot more opportunities for low-income students, especially ones like herself who did so well in high school.
I wish I would have known that there's a lot of financial aid. I did know about that, but I didn't believe it, or I thought other people oh, it's not gonna be me.
Give me your arm, Celia!
I never had anyone tell me hey, if you are low income, you can get free college. I always thought once you go to college, you're on your own, and that fact always scared me. I feel if I would have pushed a little harder, I could have gone to UCLA. I could have made it on my own, and it's kind of sad now.
When we last saw Dante, his financial aid package was up in the air, and he was worried he wouldn't be able to afford college.
After graduation, I just, tried to get all my paperwork in and everything ready, to come to Sac State. What ended up happening is since, the financial state, my parents are in, I end up getting the maximum amount to cover everything. With Sac State, it was just such of a journey to get here. Me finally being here is a blessing, and it's the ultimate, place, the dorm rooms, girls everywhere. It's just a nice environment, so I'm just excited, I'm glad that I'm here. I think that the system, changed my life, my jail time and everything, and I wouldn't change it because it made me the man I am today. I'm a prime example, coming from nothing to something, a bad person turned good. And so, in the future, I want to go back to to the camp that I was at and work there, and try to, show the young youth that they can, change and, just want to help people, like I got help, try to, bring some light in, to somebody's day, change their whole meaning of life. That's what I basically just want to do, just help the young people, help somebody change their life, yeah.
Dante finished his second semester at Sacramento State with a 4.0, and he has hopes to walk on the football team in his sophomore year.
The talent is out there, and the question is, can we as a nation put the tools in the hands of these young people so they can chip away at those blocks of poverty and contribute so much more to their lives and to their community?
By 2020, America will once again have the highest proportion of college graduates in the world. That is a goal we can meet. That's a goal we can meet.
Look at me now, like a shooting star. kind of man than I used to be. Used to be scandalous, vandalous. Never let no punk get the upper hand of this. But everything can change in a moment like this. I forgot the dreams that I used to dream, like a little kid saying prayers through the window screen. I'm gonna keep on running, ain't gonna stop at nothing. I can see the light at the end of the road. Get out the way, I'm coming. Ooh, look at me now, like a shooting star, all around the world. Go ahead and live your dreams like you wanna live your dreams. Ooh, look at me now, like a shooting star, all around the world. Yo. Sitting looking at the night sky, stars shining down, wondering if I keep running, will it ever come round to me? To my dreams, to my needs, on my knees, saying please, dear God, make me a star that can lead, can shine on, can live on, can crash down, but flame on and keep going, no matter what the rest of them's on. I don't care what you say I'm gonna be, all I'm gonna be is me to the best of my ability. Ooh, look at me now, look at me, I'm like a shooting star, I'm flying all around the world. Go ahead and live your dreams like you wanna live your dreams. Like you wanna live your dreams.
Hours and days, sleepless and tired, fighting for everything. Vision to see, not only just to get by. Tonight we're fighting for life. We lift our eyes, hoping to find that our dreams are more than hopes to survive. And fighting to sing